how overpowered that kind of mechanic would be. But I think one way I've tempered it is that every character only has three abilities they can use in combat. So they'll kind of have to pick and choose which ability they want to use when, and some of those abilities can alter turn order.
Hmm. Very interesting. So have you play tested it yet with your group?
I'm still trying to I'm still trying to recruit them.
Mm.
But I've gotten a lot of details. I've got an Excel spreadsheet just kind of with brainstorm ideas.
Well, that's really great. I'm excited to hear how it develops. Um, yeah, that's really great. Is this with your? Are you planning on doing this with your theater community theater group, or is it a different group?
It's a different group. I know a lot of people in theater play D&D, so maybe I'll reach out to them. But this group is actually another workshop that I just finished earlier today. But we've all been having a great time in the workshop, and I just thought, if they're interested, we all made a little Discord. If they're interested, let's play test it. Let's make some characters and just have some fun.
That is so cool. Yeah. The reason I asked about the theater thing is because I've long been thinking about, this is sort of a pipe dream, but incorporating some version of Voices of Choices into this would be very experimental, but a live, almost like a LARPing format where there's Dungeon Master maybe not on stage or maybe on stage, but in the corner. And it's
Voice of God.
Yeah, and then the players, of course, are acting out on stage in addition to, just dialogue.
So look up on Broadway. What is it? It's like D20 Tavern.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, it's exactly that with
Yeah.
a little bit of audience participation. Not
20-sided
much.
tavern.
That's it. But yeah, it's like theater and D&D. Like, why hasn't it happened yet?
Right.
They even need two. They need like a dungeon master, and then they have a guy who's like kind of in charge of making sure everyone's actually following the rules because there's so much chaos.
Built-in rules lawyer. Yes.
Yeah, they're like, okay, somebody actually needs to make sure we're following the protocol.
With Voices and Choices,
Give a
the
briefcase.
lawyer would not be necessary.
True. It's a little more simplistic.
Okay, well, thank you for introducing that topic, Chris. That was so cool, and I could talk about it a lot longer. But I would like to do some introductions. I think I recognize everybody at this point, but if someone's tuning in on the stream and is curious, I'll introduce myself. My name is Austin David Coffey. I'm the production manager for Samurai's of Sound. Sitting here in Strawberry Hill Studio, we are just north of San Francisco, across the Golden Gate Bridge, and I coordinate with the voice actors at Samurai's of Sound. I do some voice acting, audio engineering, recording engineering, music production, so on and so forth. Actually, this would have been most helpful for the person who's coming in now. I don't know. That's okay. Let's go from top to bottom, left to right. How about Dan?
Hi, I'm Dan. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say here. You kind of put me on a spot like that.
Whatever comes to mind. You can talk about your journey as a voice actor, or
Well, we're still at the beginning of that as a journey, so there's not much to say at this moment.
Okay. Well, we're here to help you along every step of the way. So just know that.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Oh, Jensen, yes.
Oh.
Hi, I recognize you.
Hey.
Welcome back. Chris, hi.
Hi, yes, my name is Chris Cito Joe. I'm an actor and voice actor. Been professionally acting for 4 or 5 years now. Voice acting has mostly been freelance. I'm trying to turn it into a career. As far as D&D or tabletop games, I've played with Austin before, with their Samurais of Sound, some of the other campaigns beforehand, and yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome back. And Jaquez, hello. Jaquez, are you there?
Might be sick. Still.
Yeah, you may have stepped away. Laura, welcome back.
Thanks. Good to be here. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Welsh. I am also a voice actor. I'm based in sunny SoCal. And you probably would recognize me best from some video games, which I cannot talk about because there is a current strike ongoing. So if you would like to look into that, you're welcome to visit my IMDb. But this is my third role play with Strawberry Hill, and I'm so excited to be back. Thank you all.
Wonderful. Gavin, welcome back.
Hey guys, my name's Gavin Kidder. I'm based in the Midwest, aspiring voice actor, musician primarily. As you can see, because I'm kind of like just buried in instruments. Yeah, longtime DM, and role player. I've run some Samurais of Sound campaigns before, and just hanging out tonight, playing the play.
Nice.
As we do.
Isaac, hi.
Oh, hey, everybody. I guess I'm not even on mute. Jeez, I guess I could have spoke up. Isaac Bonney, retired Army guy, been into voice acting, wanted to do it forever. Simpsons, South Park, all of the cool ancient stuff. So yes, getting really interested and getting serious about all of this, and had a good time chatting with you guys. So I wanted to come here and check it out and see how you guys roll.
Very cool. Glad you did.
Thank you for your service.
You're very welcome.
Ben, hello.
Hi, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ben. I'm fairly new to the whole voice acting thing. I think it's been less than 2 years. Still in the very baby stages of all of it. So just happy to be here and among like-minded people and learning stuff and playing D&D. I've played role-playing games since the 1980s.
Oh wow.
I've been into it for quite some time, but I will say, at my age now, it's kind of hard to find an actual regular gaming group, so this has been very welcome.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I remember you sharing some of your experience at the previous community hub. Really
Yeah, that was a
cool.
lot of fun. I need to come to the next one.
Yep. Next week will be one. We were off last week, but normally they're every Tuesday, except for when we roleplay. Jensen, hello.
What's up? I'm at my brother's now. I was just working on a school project and
Very nice.
yeah.
Very nice. Well, glad you took the time to
Mhm.
either take a break or if this is your procrastination. I don't know where you're at with that.
No, there was a film project I'm working on, and we just got done filming.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. Chandler, haven't heard from you yet.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Back again in the blanket booth.
The reveal.
The Overwatch kid booth.
Yes, excellent. But for those of you who haven't met me, my name's Chandler Dunaway. I'm a freelance voice actor. Been doing this thing for about 7 or 8 years now. Y'all probably don't recognize me, but if you do, I'm from Team Fortress 2 as the voice of El Comandante and Payload, and then Player Destruction Galleria. I play the shrill old lady voice.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
The red alert, red spy is in the base.
No, that's not me. That's Ella McLean. But on the Christmas map, Galleria, I play this old woman that's over a mall PA that's just going, "Attention mall shoppers, please get off the ice while we resurface it. There's all the bullet holes in the ice. Please get off there, otherwise you're gonna get hit."
My daughter is going to shit her pants when she finds out that I got
You play TF2?
yeah.
Nice. I
But
played it a long time ago, but haven't really got back into it. I don't have a gaming PC anymore, so
still fun. I'm also on Newgrounds, but in terms of D&D, this is the first time I'm doing it, so
No
we can
way.
have some fun.
Very cool. Very cool. Hopefully this will serve as a good entry point. Just a little refresher on, I guess, the voices and choices system, which is what we'll technically be using, not Dungeons and Dragons. Designed to be really easy to use. You can easily adapt any characters you may have thought of in the past or used in the past into this system, or you don't have to have a character at all. You can wait to jump in until it strikes your fancy and sort of just create one on the fly, because it's very easy to create one. You do so by thinking about what your character would be good at and what your character would be bad at. And it can be good at one of four things. It can be good at strength, meaning it's a strong character. They're a strong character. It can be good at dexterity, which would be someone who's very quick, or someone who has good fine motor control, someone who's an archer, someone who is a thief and is used to picking locks and pockets. Your character can be good at perception, which is basically their like intelligence. If they're like a crazed inventor, or like a Tony Stark, or like a wizard, perhaps a sorcerer, like a Doctor Strange or something. But also the power of their senses, their awareness of their surroundings. So if they're like a ranger type, like an Aragorn, who's spent their life training in the wilderness and knows how to track things and can navigate for the party. That all falls under the same umbrella there of perception. And then lastly, charisma, which is what you'd expect. If you're a bard, you're a performer, or you're particularly persuasive in some capacity. And it also measures your ability to figure out if other characters are assess their true intentions. So at a very broad level, that is... So where I was going with that is you choose one of those to be your strong skill, and one of those to be your weak skill. Your strong skill is going to have +2 to all your dice rolls, and your weak skill is going to have -2 to all your dice rolls, which changes over time as you come back for more sessions. But that's how it starts. And your dice rolls, it's only a d20 for the most part. It's just going to be d20 every time for your skill attempts. And then it may be modified by, like you said, the skill modifier, or a tool if you're using a tool, which you can come up with on the fly for the most part, up to a certain limit where you've come up with enough tools. But yeah, you can have a tool that can give you +1 or +2. And then if the circumstance is favorable, advantageous or disadvantageous, there'll be a d6 in addition to that is rolled. So just a d20 mostly, and then sometimes a d6. You can use Google Dice Roller. You don't have to even have dice. I'm using Dice Roller, although as the DM in Voices and Choices, I probably won't be rolling any dice. As players, you will be. Some people like to bring their own dice, and that's fine too. And then you'll just need to tell me the result of the dice, which is after all the addition and subtraction, so that I can tell you if it passed. 12 is the threshold, so above 12 is a pass. And the higher the number, the better the pass, if that makes sense. So I think that will just about cover most of the... Any questions about that before we get started?
When it comes to like I don't know, powers or spells, is that just made up on the fly and then you do the whatever dice roll difficulty?
Yep. So if your character has magical abilities, which is really up to you to determine, then how that works is you think of what your character would, the spell that they would want to be casting, and you make a skill attempt just like any other skill attempt. The difference is that the circumstance, meaning the d6 that's rolled, is called risky, which means that the d6 value will count against you. So it's harder to pull off. But if you pull it off, because it's magic, it's going to be super great, and that d6 flips to a positive number, and something really, really good happens depending on what you wanted.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, basically, I wonder, does anyone remember some of what happened in the last session? It was a month ago.
Sort of.
Sort of. Well, you
I
showed
mean,
up halfway through.
Kind of.
I remember what happened in the session before the last session.
Likewise.
I remember we were in the forest. If it's the January one we were talking about.
It is the January one. Maybe Chris can fill in some of the details about before that.
Please.
Funnily enough, I did take notes. So, in the last session, the heroes were gathered in a tavern, and the farmer from Sablewood, I think his name was Malachite.
Mm-hmm.
The halfling mayor of Sablewood came to the tavern and said, new Sternium guards, who are the rivals or the opposing force of the Order of Echoes, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Basically came to Sablewood and started putting in place martial law, or they were trying to encroach. And Malachite was given the lost cord, which we found on a previous adventure. He was given the lost cord in an attempt to broker peace, but when he saw how aggressive the new Sternium soldiers were, he came back and asked for help again. The party went out. We crossed a bridge with some stubborn new Sternium guards. And then night fell, and we came across a young werewolf who previously had never experienced lycanthropy before. And one of our party members, I think, was able to track the magic up the mountain that's like next to Sablewood. So the party went up there to see what's going on. Found out that New Sternium guards had built a watchtower up there.
Go ahead, man.
But we got permission, and there was a cave that the evil magic energy was coming from. So we got permission to enter in exchange for meeting, I forget. Oh, in exchange for meeting Captain Claudius, who is in Sablewood, who's the captain of the guards. And I think that's where we left off.
That was an exquisite summary. Better than I would have done myself. So thank you.
Gold star.
Yeah. So indeed, you've each, for the purposes of this adventure, let's say you have each spent the night at the new Sternium Watchtower, the construction site of the watchtower, as it were, and it's near the summit of Mount Sable. And the air is crisp in the early morning. The sky is painted in soft hues of orange and pink as the sun begins its slow rise. And from your vantage point near the cliffside, you can see the town of Sablewood and Malachite Farm, sprawled far below, and the land shrouded in thin morning mist. And near the campfire, one of the new Sternium soldiers, a wiry man, is hunched over a pan preparing breakfast, the scent of sizzling eggs and charred bread filling the air. Another soldier, the one who introduced himself the previous night as Samuel, approaches with a plate of food in his hand. He settles onto a log beside you, offers a careful smile, though there's something guarded in his expression. And he says, "Good morning. Aren't Balthazar's scrambled eggs delicious?" So, we have a deal, right? You clear out whatever's lurking in that cave, and in return, I'll grant you an audience with Captain Claudius. Simple as that.
Anything else in store? Merson says.
Someone just came in. Hold on. Well, I suppose you should know this. Whatever's lurking in that cave, it's not natural. The other night, I heard something that sounded like a mix between a snarl an old man's voice and a crying child, all bouncing off the cave walls. I have no idea what to make of it, but I'd be lying if it said it didn't make my skin crawl.
Huh. I've been to asylums before, but that just sounds too creepy.
Resinetta is just sort of blankly staring at the fire. For those who don't know, Resinetta is a very tall elven figure, very gaunt. It looks like she's very old, wearing nothing but like raggedy clothes, just cinched at the waist. She has. Let me get my description out. Her skin is scarred, but one can still make out the green markings like stripes running across her figure. Her hair is long, scraggly, and clearly has not seen care in a long time. Her eyes are sunken in, dull, hollow, and just perpetually looking into the middle distance. On her back is strapped a giant sword that's like 7 feet long, that seems to be made out of a single piece of material. The blade, the handle, it's all just one pure white piece of something. She's just sort of staring into the fire, and without really making eye contact, she just says, "Whatever is in there, we will handle it. No matter how dark the powers that be are."
Aye. And caves are me natural element, so that's a good one.
Last time we were in a cave, it almost flooded, so I'm pretty happy to be on a mountain. Well, last time I was in a cave, at least. I think you were there, Elf? I forget your name.
Resinetta.
That's in character.
Yes, Resonetta. Thank you, Cree. I believe we were both there, though I recall more your screw-up with the cannon on the beach.
Hey!
Cree throws a piece of biscuit down and hits Wolf in the head with it. Yeah, that was pretty bad, wasn't it?
I've learned my lesson, and I've made this. And he pulls out a gun. I assume guns are allowed in this world, right, Austin?
They're pretty rare and hard to come by, but yeah.
Well, Wolf's an inventor. It's fine.
Would this be an appropriate time for my character to have been sitting by the fire this whole time?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, my name's Henry. I'll join you. He's a half orc. Basically, he's a green Henry Rollins. And he has a slightly Cockney accent, which is not exactly Henry Rollins, but whatever.
Can you repeat your name? I didn't get it written. I'm sorry.
Henry.
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 Henry. Huh. I am Merson Bouchy. I am also a fan of that. I am also a fan of Black Flag and Henry Rollins.
Excellent. Yeah, he's basically, this guy looks basically like he's just a copy of Henry Rollins. He's just green.
Just like a...
Might have tusks. So,
okay.
but he's a monk of Disanara. So he fights with his hands. His tool or weapon, I suppose, is a pair of cestus is. They're armored gauntlet things that you hit people with. So might have spikes on the knuckles or something. Anyway.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he's in there, hanging out.
Alrighty. And for those of you who don't know, my character is a samurai. His main weapon is a katana, but he also wields a crossbow just for, dire situations.
Cool. And what's everyone's character's name?
Merson Bouchy.
Okay. And
for my character, it's Lexin. My character is Belfagor, the hybrid wolf.
Okay.
But got a dark grayish blue fur.
Are you in the car?
Dripping from him. Like wearing like raggedy clothes, like a cloth around him.
Oh, so you were the werewolf they ran into.
Yeah.
I'm the werewolf like in the bar.
Okay.
Like pretty descriptive.
And my character's name is Resonetta.
Okay.
I'm Cree.
And what
Cree
is?
Crabtree.
Are you a halfling?
No, I'm a human. I'm just 17.
Oh, okay.
I'd be the short king amongst us. Roderick, Gilden Flame at your service. He's a very red bearded dwarf.
That beard and I have a history.
Naked from the waist up. He wears
I
just
hope
kind
it's
of
from the
like a
waist
fur
up.
cowl. He wears a fur cowl, lots of hair on his chest and arms, and then just a pristine kilt and high sock combo. Just not a speck of dirt on it.
Nice.
You see a little lint roller tucked in the pocket, and on his back he's got a giant claymore.
Nice.
Yeah, my character's name is Penelope, and she looked like a cat last time, but it's worn off now, so she's back to looking like a 30-something human.
Cool.
I was gonna say Resonetta would have Penelope in her lap just petting her, but I guess that's not happening.
That's very sad.
Not jealous
Well,
at all.
find out. It could happen. It just, takes a minute to recharge.
Malachi wanders up to Penelope and so does it wear off overnight? You were a cat before, I'm pretty sure.
You're muted.
Yes, I was. Hi, but it wears off. It only lasts about 4 hours.
Is this normal? Should we expect to see you as a cat again in the near future? Do you do birthdays? Do you do other animals?
I do not do birthdays. I've got a couple animals I'd like to get into my repertoire, but I need to run into them and encounter them in the field before I can learn how to do them. Cat's all I've got in my repertoire right now.
Well, it sounds like we might be seeing a little bit
But
more
it's
of a
pretty
cat.
useful, so, if it will benefit me, we'll see it again.
So Samuel leans in and he says, well, it's great that you all are accepting the terms of the mission. I applaud you for that, but you have to understand that having just met you and all, I can't exactly trust you to finish the job. This is not going to be easy. I mean, what if you drive the thing deeper out of the tunnels into this encampment? So for the safety of my team, I'll have to seal the entrance behind you once you're inside. And
Well, you guys don't think you can handle it?
If they could handle it, they wouldn't have hired us.
Okay, while fair, I don't really have a rebuttal to that. I don't like that. I don't like you.
I don't need to be liked. Just understood.
We certainly did try to handle it ourselves, for the record. But this thing is, well, like I said, I'm a little bit
Well, you could have opened with that.
cautious to expose my men to this risk. I've never heard anything like that when I went down to investigate the other night. So that's kind of why we built this hole, and he gestures towards this barricade that has been built over the mouth of the cave. And he says, anyway, we'll have to take some of these, planks of wood off to get you through. But once you do, I'm going to have to seal it back up. And when you can prove that the threat is gone, whatever it is, I'll let you back out. So you have my word, but if that's not enough, you can have my sword as collateral. And takes this big sword out and presents it to the group.
Yeah, I can't carry that.
I'm not using that.
I'm good with my katana.
Only gotta take it.
Fine, I'll be the pack mule. Y'all didn't have to ask, but I'll do it.
I believe we should have some sort of signal for when we are ready to exit.
Ooh, a secret knock.
Or we can just say, hey, we're done.
You're boring.
It's called being practical.
I would worry that whatever this is, having stolen voices before, could easily mimic ours.
That's right. I lost my voice for like a whole half a night.
Well then, if it can mimic us, then surely it'll be able to mimic any secret phrase we come up with.
Not if we kill it first.
Okay, and if that doesn't work, if we, die...
Just spitballing here.
Four-part harmony!
I'm not doing that.
That's pretty good. Just spitballing here. What if, when we're ready to get out, we break down the barricade? I'm really good at chopping.
I have a
You'll know it's
launcher.
us when they come out and it's us.
What's the last thing you chopped?
Do a secret knock.
Oh, loads of things. I chop all day, every day. I chopped that tree down over there. Made the fire. Yeah.
Suppose that will have to suffice. And she looks to Samuel. We apologize for any future inconvenience.
Yeah, discharge it to the order.
Will do. Trust me, if you can get rid of this thing, it'll be well worth our while and by extension yours.
Well, if we get rid of the thing, will they even need this barricade anymore? Probably not.
They'll be fine.
I don't think so. And with that, he leads you over to the barricade at the entrance of the cave, sealed tight with these wooden planks, these big thick nails that are hammered into the rock. And he says, like I said, we spent a good deal of time setting this thing up, so maybe the dwarf here who likes to chop can do the honors of breaking it back down again.
Well, probably. Yeah.
You're not going to even
I have to check my schedule.
He's shy.
You have to check
You
the
didn't put me on the spot.
Well, if you don't want to do it, I can do it.
You're gonna use something alchemical and explode all of
have
us? I know you people.
How about we burn it?
I'd rather not suffocate, thank you.
What?
So I can climb over this. I don't know about the rest.
It's a thick barricade of like these wooden planks that he's just asking you to remove.
Oh.
What kind of wood are we working with? What's the grain count?
The grain
Wait,
count.
so we have to remove it? We can't just climb over it?
It's barricading a cave mouth, from what I understood.
Yeah. Grain count. He says, I don't know. It's just local wood from the forest that we chopped down on our way up here.
Then it's spruce.
Nah, it's no good.
How about we can try to blow it down? You know, I got excellent lung power.
I don't think there's three little pigs in there that need first.
Yeah.
How about I'll somebody hand me a crowbar. I'll just do this. We're gonna spend all this time arguing.
You're lucky I have one on me. Here you go.
Thank you. And I'm gonna attempt to wrench free these big nails.
Okay.
And this subpar wood.
Yeah, crowbar's gonna be +2 for that.
Yep. Well, I have a +2, so. Oh yeah, I rolled an 11 on the dice, and it's a +4 to the modifier, so.
15.
Okay. So that's a 3 when you subtract 12, which is the par, as it were. That is a 3. And with the 3, you're able to pry the pieces of wood off quite easily, and after a few moments, the hard work of Samuel is just sprawled there on the ground. And
see, if he had used sycamore, it would take me all day. Think about that.
He looks back at Balthazar, who's still killed over the campfire. He's like, write that down. And
I'll get him to you. That was some pretty impressive work.
Thank you.
Does sycamore even grow at this altitude?
No, you'd have to bring it in on carts.
Sounds like a pain.
It's well worth it, I'm just saying.
Nothing wrong with spruce.
Resonetta's countenance kind of darkens at the mention of all this forest and wood talk, and she just, yes, she just says, "The way is open. Let's go."
Yeah, after you, of course.
I guess I'll scout.
After Cree, of course.
So, Cree, as you scamper into the tunnel ahead of everyone else, you find that it winds steadily downward through the mountain. Some of this is a bit familiar to your character because you've been in this cave before. It's the same cave as the one from like 3 sessions ago, maybe? I think it was the first
Smells
session.
the same.
Yeah, and so the
fungus.
The air grows colder and the light fades, and soon you're forced to strain your hobbit eyes, and the darkness is just pressing in on you. And when it feels very dark and narrow, suddenly the tunnel widens into this small chamber, and it's dimly lit by this faint, eerie glow. The ground is littered with shattered gemstones. Shattered, if I recall correctly, by our resident dwarf, Chopper, as it were. And their jagged edges are catching this weak light. Clumps of matted black fur, recognizably from the...
Oh, no. I thought you was at work.
Oh, Jackass, could you mute your mic, please?
Yeah, so that's not about you. I'm doing all right. Just feel a whole lot sick.
Thank you.
Okay. That was touching. But we have a problem to solve here, people. Where was I? Oh yeah, there's clumps of werewolf fur from the werewolf you fought in this cave. He'd been stealing voices, as you recall, trapping them within these shattered gemstones and silencing townsfolk one by one. But now, across the chamber, another tunnel is extending deeper into the mountain, but something is wrong. Above the entrance to the tunnel, 3 gemstones, one yellow, one red, and one silver, are embedded in the rock, and they're glowing faintly.
All right, well, let's just get this over with. Hold the
Come on,
claymore on my
everybody!
back.
At least this room's safe.
Yeah. You don't have to shout. It echoes all the way up the tunnel.
Well, I don't really have inside voices.
Maybe you could practice.
My mom always said I should practice more. So, that's new.
Recall that being here before.
Ben, I think you're muted. I think you're trying to talk and you're muted.
You're right. So we're supposed to destroy these things, eh?
That's what I did with the last ones, and it worked perfectly.
And people's voices were in them.
Yeah, wild.
That's crazy.
It almost felt like ghosts, though. It was real creepy.
What happened, though? Did the townsfolk get their voices back, or did they just vanish?
Believe when we shattered the crystals, their voices returned.
Mm-hmm.
This seemed pretty cut and dry.
Okay. Excuse me, everyone. But sorry for the interruption, but sorry that I interrupted. Like, I just called my mom and she just checked on me. Okay, continue. Sorry.
But these crystals are different colors. I would not recommend smashing them. And she looks at Roderick.
I'm just saying it worked last time. That's all, right? It's Plan C.
Trigger happy. Trigger happy dwarfs. Make a note. So there's also a new tunnel. I don't remember that being there.
Me either. Like, this new tunnel is really foreign to me.
Should we keep going, or should we start smashing more crystals?
Does the tunnel appear to be like cut into the stone, or is it naturally occurring?
It's
I'm a
definitely
dwarf, I think I would
cut
know that.
into the stone rather hastily. There's jagged edges that you can see from the mouth, or at the mouth of the tunnel, and presumably extending throughout. The craftsmanship is strikingly insulting to a dwarf of your skill.
Well, we can rule out my kin. They had nothing to do with this one. The Guild in Flames have a pure Cut.
Resonetta will pull out the lost cord that she has had on her person. And I don't remember exactly, but she compares the colors of the 3 strings to the colors of the gems. Are they at all similar?
The chords, the strings on the lost chord are all glowing gold, and one of the gems is glowing a yellowish gold. It's not the same hue exactly, and the others are red and silver.
She'll look to everyone and she says, I am worried about the New Sternium soldiers. Learning that this is so close to them, I would ask you keep this a secret for now. And she plucks the middle string just to see if anything happens.
Okay. Well, as she does so, the yellow gem that is in the room begins to glow more brightly. And first of all, the purest tone, emanates from this chord. It's not super loud, but it does fill the space nicely. And for a moment, everything is very resonant and is bathed in this golden glow. Now the yellow gem glows as well, and as it does so, it interacts with it begins to resonate with the chord that you've just plucked, and it's almost as if the feeling that was encapsulated in this gem is asking you to share a memory of pure joy that you have experienced in your life, something that made you feel truly alive. And it's communicating directly with the one who plucked the cord in this case.
Okay.
Does Resonetta have a pure joy moment in her? Otherwise, we're doomed.
Let's see. Resonetta's eyes will grow even more vacant than her companions have ever seen them before. And let's see. Something does come to mind for her. It's very foggy. She can't make out exact details, but she feels like she's in a forest somewhere far, far away. The leaves are tinged, the bark is tinged silver. The leaves are kind of in a perpetual autumn state. And as she looks around, she can hear voices in the distance. She hears laughter. She hears talking. She hears one voice in particular that rings out. She looks down and she sees what seems to be a young child, but she can't make out their face. And as the child looks up and reaches their hands out to her, that's where the vision will fade for her memory.
Cree squeezes Resonetta's arm gently and says, "You okay?"
Resonetta looks down, and for a brief moment as they lock eyes, there's almost a sense of recognition behind her eyes. But then she says, I remembered something. It wanted a happy memory. And once again, her gaze goes back to the middle distance.
All right, everyone. Crystals want things.
What do you mean they want things? They're rocks.
Oh God, do you think they're upset about me crushing their friendies? Tell the crystals I didn't mean nothing by it.
They're not rocks. They're vessels. There's personalities in there. They're not just plain rocks.
Fine. I'll humor this. What do they want?
I hand the lost cord to you.
Who's you? That's kind of vague.
Sorry, to Wolf.
Okay.
Well, what am I supposed to do with this?
Play it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. What's in there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you
I'm
say
sorry.
give it to the wolf, right? You mean
No,
Belle
there's a
right?
character named Wolf who's played by Dance.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I didn't even think of that. I'm sorry, Jackass.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. So Resonetta hands it to Dan's character named Wolf and says,
Okay.
Full name Wolfgang, but he doesn't like that.
and says, play it.
I don't play, but all right, fine. And he's just gonna pick one of the other two strings that he didn't see played and go for it. I'm gonna choose the top one, high one.
And again, the cave is filled with this beautiful tone, slightly higher than the other in a harmonious way. For those musically inclined, we'll say a major third. And the yellow gem, which had been resonated by Resonetta, it has ceased to glow so brightly and has actually fallen onto the ground, still intact. And two remain, of which the silver begins to resonate with the chord. And
this is a little loud.
It does get louder strangely in a crescendo. And transmits this idea to you that and someone old and wise, may have passed this on through the crystal and is now asking you to share a piece of hard-won wisdom, something you may have learned through pain and time.
Wolf is going to remember the first thing he properly, successfully built. It was the very first flying machine he ever made. And unfortunately, the initial test pilot met a rather bloody end, and he remembers that quite well. So that's the day that he remembers that he must do it right the first time. It's not quite wise.
Cut once, right?
Yeah, measure twice, cut once. So Wolf remembers how he became a perfectionist through this rather unfortunate piece of wisdom that he gained, that people will pay for his mistakes, so he's going to do it himself.
And as he finishes sharing this piece of wisdom, the gem returns to a very low glow and falls off of its place above the entrance of the tunnel.
Wolf is going to immediately shove the cord back to Resonetta, and then like that.
Well, you're not dead, are you?
No.
The prickly feeling, did it say anything about the other crystals?
No, it didn't. Thank you.
Maybe mad about, smashing.
What it want from you?
Let's not worry about it, all right?
You're very, very clear and coherent.
Okay, fine. Let me do that again. I don't want to talk about it. Thank you.
And Roderick, right? Is our dwarf.
Broderick.
Let's have you make a perception check on the rocks, and you can do so with advantage because as a dwarf, this is in your wheelhouse. So you're gonna roll with a d6.
And he's digging a hole.
Diggy hole.
Indeed.
Okay. So that is a math. That's a 12.
Okay. A neutral result. With the d6, and do you have any sort of like any aid that you'd be using for this, or does someone? How would someone?
I mean, what am I doing?
Well, you're taking a good look at these gems and you're comparing them against your depth of knowledge as a dwarf, perhaps.
then I lick it.
Man.
Which one are you licking?
Don't
one of the
harass
ones
the
that's fallen
gemstones.
off. I don't know, the gold one, the first one.
Yeah, which is I think neither of them have been picked up, so they're available.
Yeah.
The yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one.
Now that it's not glowing, you detect faint traces of immeasurable sadness, in sort of a direct opposition to this joy that has just been felt. But you can't quite tell if they're mad at you for if they're mad per se for you having smashed the other gems who may or may not be.
Yeah, a tear runs down Broderick's eye, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know."
And the silver gem above your head continues to glow.
I thought I fell off. Oh well.
Sorry, the red. Yep, you're right. The red gem. Red gem continues to glow.
Resonetta will hold out the lost cord to the other party members and just say, "Play it." She's just offering it to whoever wants to take it.
Okay. I'll try to play it. Doesn't seem that hard. As Belphegor played the chord, play in a strange melody.
Yes.
I'm gonna say of energetic, and then Belphegor get a backstory of how his hometown that was peaceful, but at the same time fire, disaster, rain down, and saw all of his friends and family get butchered left and right from raiders. And after that, Belphegor felt this like race coming. Both he's saddened and angry at the same time. You're like, the hell was that? Why am I feeling this? Why am I reliving this all over again? As he trying to pull himself together from after playing the core of the gemstone.
Does the red gemstone change at all?
The red tech?
It stops glowing as much and it falls to the ground with the others.
I'm not leaking that one.
Oh, what's wrong with that one, huh?
Man,
I don't know whatever he's reacting to.
I think this particular gemstone react is powered by rage. It made me relive all the painful memories and make me feel anger.
It sucks.
Okay.
I thought I was supposed to be the one who didn't have any tact.
This gust of warm air flows up from the tunnel beyond as the third gem clatters to the ground, and it beckons you forward.
Resonetta will take back the lost cord. Not kind of harshly. She doesn't ask for permission. She doesn't wait for Belphegor to offer it. She just walks up and takes it out of his hands and continues forward into the tunnel.
Hold on, wait a minute, stop. Don't go down there yet.
What?
It's dark. He finishes shoving something in his big gun and pulls the trigger and just launches a big burning flare ball down the tunnel.
Oh. Well, there went my sense of smell.
Well, they know we're here now, so much for stealth.
Oh, as if they didn't hear the entire cave rattling with the music you were just playing?
Could have been part of the natural ambiance.
Yeah, sure, okay.
The crystals that have fallen and find a nice pouch for him in his kilt.
Hoping you do that.
Moments after the flare gun goes off, you hear this twisted roar that almost sounds like it's being strangled with these voices intermingling. It's really hard to make out exactly what the source could be, but it is this labored scream of some kind, slightly guttural, but with this many-faceted texture. And as the flare shoots down the tunnel, you can see that it's quite a long tunnel that curves downward, descending deeper at roughly the same trajectory as the flare is. You can see that it's going down until it curves out of view, but it does continue in that haphazardly cut kind of way.
You said something carved this out, right, Dwarf?
Yeah, and they did a shoddy job.
Yeah, they made some serious progress. How long has this been? How long is this thing? How new is this tunnel?
Well, we were here, what, like a few days ago?
Maybe a couple weeks.
A couple weeks ago? Was not here last time.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's some serious progress.
As for that sound, I didn't want to say anything before, but I had a great aunt Patricia snore just like that. So it's either a really dangerous beastie, or it's some sort of monster we don't know anything about.
Miss Penelope, does your cat form have stealth?
Not magical stealth, just normal cat stealth. So if 4 hours me being a cat will be useful, I can fire that up. But I warn you, I will just be meowing the whole time and purring.
I
and
don't
trailing.
So you
think
can't tell us
that's
what you see.
going to be useful. No.
Darn.
Malachi speaks up for the first time. He says, well, I mean, it might be, unless you have any better ideas. Cats I know are light on their feet, and well, I had one once, and I could never find the damn thing, so...
Is there a way to make the catification end early?
No.
That sucks.
Once a day for 4 hours, and that's it.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, what? So you can just turn it into a cat too, then, huh? And it's only like you can turn it on and off. Like this is fucking magic.
Well, one thing I could do is cast detect magic, but I think we already pretty much know that there's magic around here.
Yeah, I think there might be magic around here. That's a good call.
Speaking of magic, I guess I can do my one magic trick. Austin, can I use my resonance ability to kind of do echolocation down there and see what's at the end of the tunnel?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead.
Turns into a bat.
Go ahead and make
No, it's not a bat. No, I have to fire my gun.
Or maybe this new strain is magical.
Is your connection to your resonance magic through your intellect or your senses or your would it be perception?
Yeah, it's my perception, like my intellect and senses.
I'm asking Laura's character Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, mine is through my intelligence. Yeah, my intellect.
Okay, so you're going to make a perception check, and because we're using magic, you're going to make it with disadvantage. Let's say through your training, because you specifically, took it upon yourself to study the resonance magic that was provided, the trainings that were provided through the order. Perhaps they gave you some kind of token or spell casting focus of some sort that you can use. So you can describe that if you want, and use a +2 for that, and also your perception.
Okie dokie. Yes. So I have two pistols. I have two side holster pistols, and both of them have inscriptions on the side now that start to glow magically. There's kind of like a filigree that starts to like glow blue, and
Ooh, filigree. That's a word you don't hear often.
and so I cock them and then blow gently, and you start to hear like a humming whistle, and then I shoot down the tunnel, and we'll see what happens. Oh, you will not believe. Nat 20, and then a 2, and then a 2 on the modifier. So I think that's bad. Or wait, no, it's good because lower is good, right?
The dice. There's a 2 on the d6.
There's a 2 on the d6.
Okay, yeah. So it's
so that's the disadvantage, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because you rolled a d20, so it'd be
Oh,
20
okay.
plus 2 for your.
The d6 goes positive.
And then minus
No,
2
never mind.
for the dice. So it
I
cancels
forgot
out
how the rules work. Don't.
to 20. And then because you've succeeded, it's now 12. So that's a really, really big result there. 12 being after you subtract the par of 12. Happens to be 12 as well. And as you fire these pistols, what does the musket ball look like exactly?
It's because it's magical, there was no actual ball in there. It's just like a magical compaction of air. So it's just air that's sort of been compacted into this resonant thing, and so as it's shot out, it's sort of like this echoey reverberation that just starts to dissipate as it goes further and further out.
Okay, so the magical bundles both travel down this hall just like the flare did, but they arc and then they drop suddenly as if they're following the trajectory of the cave, and they go down very, very steeply as if the tunnel has given way to this enormous pit. And then the magic expands very rapidly as if you're in this tall cave, and at the bottom of which these surfaces begin to give way very rapidly. These little membranes of sorts. These thin kind of membranes give way with the force of the resonating. And because your spell is so successful, you can tell even from the slightest touch of interaction with this magic that it's this desiccated skin of some sort, this flaky skin that is being pushed by the magic. And perhaps even more notably, there is a large, monstrous form on the farther end of the cave that you can tell from how the resonance is wrapped around it is sort of at least it was coiled atop this nest of some kind, but it's aware of what you've done as it sees the magic and lets out this roar again, and is quite agitated. It's more agitated than it sounded before. And as the magic sort of recedes, you can tell that it's starting to make its way towards where the magic has come down.
Oh, great. So echolocation, there's a big snake. It's coming our way. I think I made it mad.
Great.
Sorry.
So we alerted it with a sense of noise and the flare. So I think, is there any other senses we want to tickle? Should I fart? Alert its sense of smell as well.
Why don't we give it something to bite at to draw it out, so then maybe somebody who's got a nice big blade can chop its head off. I got the cantrip, which will give it some fake spectral dancing fairies, and maybe when it lunges at them, somebody who's got a sword can chop its head off.
I don't have that, but I do have this, and he holds out a small steel or painted white.
I do have my katana.
God. You're missing the most.
Got a claymore, and I think Resonette has got a big fuck-off sword too, so we're covered in that department.
All right.
Penelope,
I do
are
have
you
some
able
good
to-
bait though.
Are you able to cast your fairy magic spell?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You can, if you want to get within, a reasonable range of perhaps if you walk through the threshold, you guys are still standing in the first chamber, but if you walk through the tunnel and you go to the edge of the mouth of this pit that has opened up partway through the tunnel, it seems, you can kind of proceed.
Okay, so anyone who's got a nice big bladed weapon, get ready, because I'm going to cast Spectral Fairies. And if this thing lunges at them, everybody ready?
Yes.
We can
We're ready.
flank on both sides of the tunnel mouth. I think Broderick would advise we know what this room looks like. We don't know what the room it came from looks like. So
Oh, we don't want to go down there. It's a drop. It's gross.
Yeah, in the interest of
Wait, if it's a drop, can it even get up here?
We should fight where we know.
One question before we do this, though. Do we want to try to chop its head off, or do we want to try to talk to it?
Chop is my vote.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid of snakes like Bam Margera, so I say chop the fucker's head off.
I mean, does anyone have beast speech?
No.
Well, I'll say that no, but I'm fine with chopping any animal's head off.
That's not surprising. Oh.
That's about as close to unanimous as you're gonna get.
Yeah, let's be honest. If it wanted to talk, it would have yelled something like "Who goes there?" or something stupid or cliched, rather than screaming with the sound of a million voices and then trying to charge at us. Speaking of which, you said there was a drop. Can it even get up here?
I believe so. I think it made the tunnel, so I think it has a way to go in and out.
Well, that's one thing, but you know what? Never mind.
All right.
And not only that, I heard
so
from
Penelope, are you going to cast your spell now?
Who dares wake us in our slumber? We will make sure they will be punished dearly. I already hear all their conversations all the way in the cave, so we might as well be on the offensive.
Okay, let's have that spell check. The spell attempt, which is going to be for Penelope. What is her connection to her magic? You said she turns into a cat. Can you describe how she feels about her magical abilities?
Oh, well, she is a druid, and so she studied for about 15 to 20 years. She was taken when she was a teenager. She's now 30 plus, and so she has several cantrips she can use. In terms of actual weapons, she's got 2 little daggers that only do like D4 damage each, but she doesn't really have the dexterity for both at the same time. So the cantrip she's got Druid Craft, which is a glamour, which is the Spectral Fairies thing. I can cast a sort of a nature-related illusion that lasts a few minutes, like a breeze, some fairies, falling leaves, the smell of skunk, things like that. I've also got Thorn Whip, which is exactly what it sounds like.
So let's go with the fairies, because that was your character's idea. So this will be perception then as a druid, and your perception will be your +2 skill. And so you'll make it with +2. Do you have as a druid, do you have a spellcasting focus that you channel to harness the magic?
Well, this is a druid craft, so I can cast this as much as I want, but the cantrips, detect magic, fairy fire, healing word, and become a cat, I can only use those once per day.
Okay, so we're not using Dungeons & Dragons rules per se, so I'll just say, you can use your +2 perception, and then you can go ahead and make the roll to summon these fairy spirits to draw the beast out.
D6, right?
So you can roll 1d20 and 1d6, and the d6
Oh,
is going to be negative, and you get +2.
All right.
Real good. We need it.
My grand total is 9.
9. Okay. Well, as you start to summon these spirits, it becomes clear that there's not going to be enough magic for you to produce the spirit, and it starts to take a little bit of time. And maybe one of teammates wants to jump in and help.
Little help.
There's a spell. Okay. Wolf hears that and basically, finishes reloading. Once it shows up, you're gonna look away. All right. All right. Cool. Great. Excellent. And as soon as you hear the pop, then you can look back.
All of us?
Dude, I'm a druid. I can live with guts. Just do it.
No, this is going to explode in a very bright flash of light, and it's going to blind it. And so unless you want to be blind too, you're gonna look away.
All of us. Got it.
Oh, you're doing the gun thing, not the bladed weapon thing.
Yeah, it's a
I
gun
thought we
thing.
were assisting the spell.
Yeah,
I thought the spell failed.
Yeah, if you're not going to assist the spell, then basically this beast just kind of comes into view following the source of the previous spell that was cast, and you can see that it is still well guarded and not positioned to be cut, as it were, or chopped, as it were. And but you do see a little bit from the light of what is produced by the spell, the new spell, and you see that it is this. Well,
are we thinking like Basilisk from Harry Potter, or are we thinking like worse?
So,
scale of 1 to Basilisk.
It's on a scale of 1 to Basilisk. It is this monstrous Hulk, but it has these three heads. Its body is this grotesque fusion of a lion with some serpent and a goat. But where these heads are, there are 3 faces. And one of them is, it's a bit hard to make out in the dim light, but you can just see, especially from the magic, that Resonetta, you may catch a glimpse of the child from your vision. And that's the left head. The middle head is one of the townsfolk from the Balthagar's story there. And the one on the right is the victim from Wolf's experiment.
Son of a bitch.
I count 3 heads and we got 3 swords. Let's get to chopping.
So, you mentioned that one of the heads, or I get the feeling that one of the heads is connected to the child from my vision. Would it happen to be the snake head?
They all look like the heads of the people who you remember on human necks that just kind of give way to a scaly snake neck that converges onto a snake body.
I have a question. Does everybody perceive it as these characters, or just the people that they pertain to?
Everybody perceives.
I think sorry, go on.
It's an objective effect, or maybe it's the real heads, but everyone sees it.
Okay, so I see 3 heads of people that I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, I was about to say
Cool.
it should be 3 people who only one of us each knows.
Yeah.
In that case, Resonetta feels something really deep inside her just start tugging at her heart. She grabs her chest, and her blade just kind of falls to the floor. And for anyone near, they'll just sort of hear, "Not again, not again, not again."
Okay, cool.
Yep. Man down. And I guess it's not a snake. Sorry, everyone.
While all this other stuff is going on, I'm going to go smash those 3 gems on the ground.
Well, I have them in my
Yeah,
coat.
he's got him. In his...
You're gonna smash him in his
I got broken glass in my pocket.
Okay, so I think we should destroy the stones. Just an idea.
I'm worried that they're connected to our people, though, now. So if we destroy them, it might psychologically damage... That's a big word I just learned. Might psychologically damage some of our friends.
Kill this thing now. Worry about the stones later. All in favor?
Sounds good. Wolf's gonna raise the gun.
I'm gonna look
Okay.
away.
In this or not?
So make
you do
it-
initiative in
if
the
it's a-
system?
No, there's no initiative in the system. You can make a dexterity check, Wolf, if you're gonna fire the gun at the chimera.
All right, cool. Let me open up my Google Dice Roller.
Meanwhile, I am Kree is desperately trying to drag Rezanetta and her sword away out of the line
Okay.
of fire.
I rolled a flat 14.
Okay. 14, and then do you have any modifiers on that?
I don't believe, unless the weapon would give me a modifier, I do not.
Yeah, if you're using a gun, you can have 2. Plus 2.
The gun gives you 2? Alright, cool, then it would be 16.
Okay, so 16 minus 12 is 4. So with a 4...
It's just a flashbang.
Oh, it's a flashbang.
Basically. The
Okay, so
ye
describe-
olde flashbang.
Describe what happens.
I'm blinding it to give our swingers, one of who is not doing so hot, the opportunity to strike.
Okay, I still have the other guy's sword, so I got two swords.
Man, what could be better?
Okay. Well, with the 4, all 3 of the heads managed to be incapacitated and stunned by the blast.
Excellent. Okay. I don't want to step on anybody's toes by going out of turn or anything. So is it okay?
No,
to go?
dive in.
Go for it.
Okay.
The turn is whoever speaks up first.
Okay. Excellent.
So where is this thing now? Did it fall down? Is it on the floor of the tunnel? Where is it?
Well, you're also
I think
hanging
it's
out on the
dazed.
lip of this opening that goes down, and I haven't specified, but some 25 feet, and at the bottom is this giant beast that is dazed, and it's just looking up at you. Well, it was until all 6 of its eyes were rendered incapacitated, but you can see it down
So
there.
it fell back into the pit.
It's been in the pit the whole time.
Oh,
okay.
I thought it came out at us. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it fully came out, my bad.
I'm going to run and jump on it. Discharge.
Okay, great.
And I don't have many really spells or anything like that, but one ability I did want him to have was basically, what is it called? Thunder Wave in D&D. Do you know that spell? Okay, I was thinking he could do like a sort of sonic yell, since he's a monk of Disanara, and it's just a really discordant sounding big note that blasts the enemy.
As you're jumping down into the pit on top of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really interesting because those 2 circumstances actually cancel themselves out. If you're jumping from above onto a surface that's way below you, which is
Oh, so it's 2 different feats. Okay.
Which is called a precarious circumstance because you're going to have this enormous momentum as you fall 25 feet. So normally you'd have advantage on that roll, and then if you failed, it would be really, really bad. But because you're also casting a spell, that gives you disadvantage, and is really, really good if you pass. So instead of doing all that math, you can just cancel them out.
Okay.
And you can just make a check. I don't know. Would you be leaning more into your strength? It kind of feels like a strength maneuver here.
Yeah, strength is his main attribute.
Yeah. So you can make a strength check.
Okay.
Normal.
Any modifiers or anything?
It doesn't sound like you're using a tool of any kind, and we've already canceled out all the.
What about the bonuses that you get to your stats?
Yeah, it'd be plus 2.
Or it does?
Good call. Plus 2 strength.
Okay, so I got a 12, like right in the middle.
Okay, that's a neutral result. So you land on top of the chimeras, and your clap just misses the mark just a little bit, and you manage to grab hold of the beast, but you're sort of just on its back, and it's just bucking wildly. And this close, you can pick out the individual voices of the beast. So you have you have this child that's just pleading for help. It's going, "Mom, Dad, where are you? Please help!" And then this warrior's head in the middle, one of the neighbors of the werewolf, in the middle. He says, "I'll fight to my last breath." And other warrior, please. And then this head on the remaining head is this. I don't know what the victim of
He was a test pilot, basically.
Make him a big nerd.
Big nerd.
Nah, he was assured it was safe. It wasn't. They'd probably be a little miffed.
Yeah. No kidding. But you can hear his cries of anguish as well, very clearly.
Well, as soon as I get a chance, I'm just gonna start punching.
Okay.
In the
And
meantime,
then Bevelgore begin to charge at the beast. Like, oh no, I need to help him.
all right.
And then he charges and give him a helping hand.
Wonderful. So you're gonna jump down in the pit and sort of. Are you in your werewolf form, or what's going on here?
Yes, I'm in my werewolf form.
Okay. So you're gonna make like a slashing, motion towards the beast as you jump onto it.
Yeah, as soon as I jump onto it, I make a powerful supersonic howl to deal with some damage and then slash it.
Oh, so you're sort of howling on your way down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so this is a precarious circumstance. You're going to have a lot of momentum, like we said. So you're going to roll with advantage at first, unless you fail. So basically, you're going to roll a d20 with your strength modifier and a d6.
D20. You said a D20, right?
Yes, it's always going to be a d20 whenever you're making a skill attempt. In this case, because it's a precarious circumstance, you're going to add a d6.
Alright. I'm going to roll both of those now. Okay, on the D20, I got 16. D6, I got 1. Total 17.
Nice. 17 minus 12 is going to be 5, which, especially because they're stunned, is going to be enough for you to get a good slash on multiple of the heads. They're also, reacting with shock to this enormous howl that you're emitting on the way down. And you get a good slash on them, and you actually, you slice them all open, essentially. Were you trying to, behead them or, slash their faces, or what were we going for here?
I'm going for mostly more of a brutal type attack. Mostly slashing them insides open and trying to go after their insides.
Okay, so let's say
it kind of remind me of the Hydra scene from God of War 1.
Let's say that you, with this big arcing slash, you sever all 3 of the heads, and their screams die out as they hit the ground of the cave.
Okay.
Did we win?
He looks down into the pit. Did we win? I'm up here. I'm ready to fight.
Is it still alive?
Is it over?
Yes, everyone, it's over. Guess I could save my strength for the next time.
I avenge you.
I'm desperately patting Resonetta's head.
Do you need
very
a rope?
awkwardly?
Resonetta does not respond. She doesn't even seem to register that the Chimera has been defeated.
And
just gonna start extending the rope
as
down.
you keeled over on the ground, Resonetta, some of the flaky skin that had been previously detected in the cave, with the force of the first spell, has wafted it, found its way up through the tunnel, and little bits of it are on the floor, which you can see now that you're so close to the ground, and you can see that it is this discarded this discarded snake skin. Yeah.
Gross.
Turkey.
She'll look at the skin and just pick up a little piece in between her fingers. And I guess Cree would be the only one who's close enough to hear this, but she essentially whispers to herself, I know this, but I cannot remember. And she grabs her head and just she looks like she's having a migraine, and she's just kind of on the ground with her head between her hands, just kind of just struggling, like something in her head is just going wild.
Okay, everyone.
You can
So, loot the cave, and then we go. I'm gonna stay here with Resonetta.
We need proof it's death if we want to get out of here.
And as
I
you're
lowered the rope. You guys can tie up the body. We'll heave it up.
as you begin making your plans, the thicker the thicker flakes of skin, and I say flakes, but they're really quite massive. Some of them are, like looks like they are several feet across, have begun like swirling in the air in this cave around you.
Guys, it might possibly be regenerating.
Is it? Can I ascertain if it's actually regenerating? Can one of us?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
What's perception tied to?
Perception is one of the 4
intelligence.
skills. Yeah, it encompasses in D&D what you think of as intelligence.
Oh, cool. I have a 4+4 bonus to my intelligence.
Damn.
Yes, I've put literally all my points into that. 15, 19 after the bonus.
19 minus 12 is going to be a 7, and
7.
you are going to take that 7 and instantly recall that this chimera, not only is it too small to have created the skin of whatever this was, it's not nearly ancient enough of an entity. No, this skin came from something much
What was that?
Thank you.
I have a soundboard.
Sound effects.
Oh.
That was quite fitting.
Anyways, Austin, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go on.
No, that was perfect actually. That sound comes into your mind as the sound of the beast that would have made it. It is a giant snake that would have filled up, if it were there, this whole cavern, and the name somehow escapes you as you are recalling all this information from bits of lore you've gathered, and it's quite puzzling to you why you can't remember it, perhaps enough to mention out loud.
Shit. Alright, good news. The thing we just killed isn't regenerating.
What's the bad news?
We're in danger. Probably, I think.
So is the skin just kind of swirling around in the air like in a vortex kind of thing of grossness?
Yeah. It's gathering speed, and it's a swirling vortex of grossness. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Broderick's got the body of the little one halfway up this this tunnel.
We might need some fire.
So I guess we're not done here. Well.
I mean, we might be done here if you catch my drift.
I don't think we achieved the request of getting rid of whatever's in the cave.
Oh no, we absolutely got rid of what's in the cave. I think this is just there's more. I think.
All of what's in the cave, I think was the request.
That's
They're
fair.
in the cave. Do we have to get rid of ourselves?
By leaving. So, defensive positions?
Maybe run positions might be a bit more apt. But, if you want to fight.
Somebody did.
As you begin to run through the tunnel, in the dim light, you trip over Resonetta's form as she's curled up on the ground, clutching her head.
She's not moving.
I'm not leaving her.
Surround her. Protect the squishies.
I climb up the
All right, I'd like to cast a healing spell on Resonetta.
All right, go ahead and make a perception
spell
check.
of greater mental health.
I
Hey.
cast therapy.
That'll be $5,000.
Exactly, I cast therapy. Yeah, all right. Usual Austin, 20 and 6, or what?
Yes, that's right. And the 6 is going to be negative.
Fudge. Okay.
But you get a +2 for your perception.
Okay, but an 8 on the 20 and a 1 on the 6. I need to dice.
Okay,
Even
so
with a
that's 8
+2?
minus 1
Ouch.
plus 2 is 9. So that's not going to be quite enough as you cast your spell. You're reaching deep to try to figure out the source of Resonetta's discord and the wind, the sounds of the wind, and the rising up through the tunnel, and the skin, which seems rather harmless at this point, is just beginning to flood the cave all around you, essentially.
Gross.
I will say, as you casted that healing spell, it didn't heal anything on Resonetta, but there is a slight glow coming from the middle of her chest where her sternum would be. It seems whatever magic as a druid you cast had some kind of effect on her, and you see a little glowing bit on her sternum.
Okay, I'm going to reach for that and see if I can perceive anything from it. Anyone else?
You have my
No, thank you.
I'll pass.
I'm not getting into that can of worms.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Still waiting for our companions to climb up the rope. So
I'm coming.
So
Hurry up.
Same.
yeah, as Penelope rifles through Resonetta's clothes, and she separates the collar just a little bit, you will see a small flower embedded in her chest. It resembles a lily, but the petals are black.
And the whole thing's glowing green. Sorry, I'm just trying to imagine what's going on here.
It seems, so like I said, it seems whatever druidic magic you used, it's resonating with this black flower.
I'm just going to say to it, speak to me.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to say to the black flower, speak to me.
You are a druid.
As
I am a druid. I cast therapy.
as you do that, Black Lotus, as you do that, it doesn't speak to you, but you do get a vision of a giant tree, like enormously colossal. And you see...
Like Yggdrasil large?
Yeah, like Yggdrasil big. And you see what look like other elven forms in some sort of procession on the ground. And there's a hollow right at the roots of the tree. You see one of the elves being escorted into it, who also has a flower on their chest. This time it's white. As the elf is led into the hollow of the tree, suddenly the vision gets grayscale. It gets incredibly dark, and you feel just gross even being exposed to it. And before the vision fades, you get just a flash of a giant serpent head with 6 eyes.
Oh, I draw my
I get a
katana and I
vision?
slash at it.
Oh, this was all in Penelope's
This is a
mind.
vision.
Oh, right.
What's happening?
No, she just straight up kills Resonetta. Easy.
But
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Problem solved, boys. Come on.
Come on, I'm not-
She'll be harder to carry up if she's dead.
That's true.
come on, I wouldn't do that.
So where are we all?
I think we're just standing around while Penelope's having fun in the brainscape in the mind palace.
So everyone's out of the pit?
I'd like to tell
Yeah.
everyone about this, but I think I need to climb out and we need to get Resonetta out of here first, and we need to sort of beat a strategic retreat, and then I can tell everybody what I saw.
All right.
So,
as
I'm
you-
small. I cannot carry Resonetta. She is 7 feet tall.
I'm weak.
And we
I'm-
got a big dumb guy.
Yeah, I'll pick her up. It doesn't matter.
Henry, you're big and an orc.
All right.
My
guess,
pleasure.
Fine, do your work stuff and move the furniture.
I guess as they pick Resonetta up, if that, I guess if that's the plan, um, she'll she won't resist, but her hand will just sort of reach out to the swirling snake skin and just grab a handful.
Okay.
You do you. That's gross, but you do
Same,
you.
I'm gonna grab some too.
Oh, y'all are just weird.
It's surprisingly, it's not gonna like crumble under your skin. Under your grasp. It's you can kind of bundle it up and it'll hold its form. And
Yeah, maybe I can make some snakeskin boots with these.
Good jerky for the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
as you make your way out of the tunnel, well, you make your way out of the first tunnel into the the room you were in before, and then there's that other tunnel, and you get to where you can see some light filtering in from the other side, and you can hear some hammering is continuing against the rocks, and some men are talking amongst themselves as they continue their work. But you're on you're on the inside, and you can see light filtering from the outside.
All right, it's time for the secret code. I grab my sword to begin hacking at this wood.
Okay, make a strength check.
Probably don't. I probably don't. That's a 4.
Okay, 4 minus 12 is like what, negative?
Hoisted my own petard. They put sycamore on this piece. I can't get it open anymore.
And possibly trip on a flagstone.
From the other side of the barrier, you can hear Samuel saying, "They're trying to break out. That must mean they haven't done what they set out to do. Men, get ready!" And you can hear like the sounds of the men arming themselves.
Oi!
I call it.
You detected a slight pause in the activity, but maybe not as much as you would have hoped.
I will cry out in my sweetest druid voice, fellows, can I get a beer, please?
Brewski, beer me?
Is that a charisma check?
You can make a charisma check with disadvantage.
Knock 'em off filter check. When's the last time you heard a monster order a beer?
Sure, yeah. Make a charisma check with disadvantage because they're already preparing for the worst.
That scene of Bugs Bunny dressed up in a dress. Yoo-hoo!
Okay, I've got a 12 on the 20 and a 5 on the 6.
Oof, okay. So, and I'm assuming you don't have any modifiers, so that's going to be a 7. Right? Yeah. They said, so you hear Samuel say, "We ran out of beer yesterday, and we wouldn't give some to you anyway. Now, fire!" And you hear this,
oh gosh,
this shot go off that explodes against the wood, and it's this smallish cannon that they seem to have hauled up the mountain all this way, and blows through the wood. And whoever's standing in front, I guess that's going to be our dwarven friend, is going to make a dexterity check to get out of the way. This big cannonball is just fired towards him.
Right. Do I get any sort of bonus because I'm shorter than they were expecting?
No.
No?
Just the cannonball graze right over the head. Just take off a few hairs.
So cold.
If anything, that
so
might make it
cold.
worse.
Austin, cold.
I think it's quite fair when we didn't actually even work out what the special code was going to be.
Yeah, that was on us. I still think that the harmony would have worked.
I'm in a holding pattern. I'll just roll. All right. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a 14.
After all said and done?
Yeah. I got a little bit of a bonus to dexterity.
Oh yeah, this is not your first rodeo. Okay, that's going to be a 2 for the result. and you managed to duck out of the way. It's quite easy for you because there wasn't much room to go. And you duck out of the way as this cannonball hurtles past you. The others are, we'll assume they had enough time to react to get out of the way. And this ball lands on the ground behind you and has cleared away this gaping hole in the tunnel. And these men, roughly as many as there are of you, have their swords drawn. And Samuel is at the center and he says, "You better speak fast. Let us know what's going on."
Okay, so what happened was we found these crystals.
Monster dead. There might be another one. I'm sorry.
Broderick, throw those crystals at him and show him.
I'll hold him up to the hole out of the hole. So there's just a dwarven hand holding crystals out of this blowhole.
And they were glowing, and then we played some music and they turned off. And we saved the day.
Sam looks back at me and says, "Doesn't sound like they killed whatever was in there." And then one of them fires an arrow at you, Kree. Make a dexterity check to dodge. Or react however your character would.
Suck.
If an arrow is fired at you.
You
Never
gotta
trust
be
a new
frickin'...
Sternium.
I don't have a disadvantage or anything, do I?
No.
No, it's just a straight up. Well, it was still 5.
Okay.
So apparently I didn't get enough sleep last night.
The arrow's gonna hit you in the shoulder and embed itself right there in the joint.
Yeah, I guess I could have told the story a little better.
All right. When that happens, and when Resonetta hears Kree scream in pain, she will react and once again yell out, "You will not take her!" And she will rush at the barricade, bearing her sword, which is glowing ever so faintly. And I'd like to, let's see, how would this happen? I'd like to introduce an ability for Resonetta. And I'm not sure how this would play out, but essentially what happens is Resonetta calls far, far into the past, to a place that she doesn't remember, to people she doesn't remember, to a god she doesn't remember. She calls out to the far distant past to use its strength to imbue her sword with more strength than she's ever used before. And she will call out, "In the name of Silserpo, you will be cleansed!" And I guess Austin, help me out here.
So with as you're clutching the bundle of snakeskin in one hand, that's going to be a focus for this spell, a one-time focus of +5. So you're going to make whatever check you're making with a +5 for the tool modifier.
Okay. I think it's only appropriate to use strength. So
I think this might be more intelligence.
She's using her raw strength to break down the barrier, is how I'm logicking it.
Well, the barrier's already broken, just to be perfectly clear.
They shot a cannon at it.
Yeah, not a big hole.
They shot a cannon at me.
So is there...
Through the barrier.
Through the barrier.
There's plenty of guards that you could be trying to cleanse, as it were, or maybe the one who shot the arrow.
Okay, she will kind of go for a sleeping swipe to kind of knock all of the guards back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and actually, let's do this. Forget what I said about the +5. You're going to use your sword anyway, so just roll with advantage because of the snakeskin.
Okay, so strength with advantage.
Is that a good or a bad?
Don't you just love it when the roll accentuates the story?
20, 20,
Wow.
20,
Oh, wow.
2 20s today.
That's a good.
Okay, so what's
that was
So,
Tarzan's yell.
so for total, that was 27.
Okay. So that's going to be a 15 for the result, which is enough to swipe the feet out of all of the guards and then some. You've broken pretty much all of their legs at the kneecaps. And all just laying on the ground screaming out in pain. And that's saying something because there were, I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 guards, and they're all just, on the ground.
I'm gonna come swiftly behind.
You're gonna what?
Resonetta and drawing Samuel's
Yes, we
sword
are.
just pointed at his throat.
You'll also see, for anyone looking at Resonetta, you swear you see the ghostly image of a giant snake with 6 eyes.
I saw we taught some of these fellas back in the cave.
I was not here last month. Do we need them for the next step of our quest? Because aren't we supposed to talk to somebody?
Samuel was supposed to vouch for us.
Well, he can still vouch for us with a sword at his throat. His sword specifically, which is a real insult in sword people having world.
I'll vouch for you. Of course, anything you ask. You might have to wheelbarrow me down in that wheelbarrow we used for the cannon, but please, God, don't hurt me anymore.
Well, Penelope has healing magic eventually.
You had a wheelbarrow for the cannon, but not sycamore. I'm just saying.
He's too distraught to make that computation. He's also taken aback by this image of the snake that is now looming over him.
Hey, let's make sure they don't bleed out, by the way.
Their legs are all broken. None of them seem like they're gonna bleed out necessarily, but they're all pretty busted up.
Should we drag the remains of the thing that we killed out of the cave?
If you brought it, or you want to go back?
I think somebody.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Show that we ended something, and if they want to complain.
While you guys were having your little vision quest, I mean, I did have a couple of the guys tie up the corpse, and we pulled it out with a rope.
Yeah.
Of the pit. So we might have brought it with us.
I don't know how many of us can lift that kind of weight while also carrying Resonetta.
Yeah, whoever supposedly attempted it is going to need to make a strength check to haul the beast through the tunnel.
I will take the strength check.
Thank you.
I can do so as well, and then if Merson wants to also, because I think he was involved in that.
Let's have the werewolf bow.
I don't think I can assist with strength, but I can help with some menial tasks by putting down some rollers to drag it across with.
Yeah, that would work.
Because
Wolf
is a big brain smart man.
You'd have to get it up first, theoretically, but yeah, you can add a d6 for that.
I did have a 17 on my roll.
Well, let's have Belphegor make the roll, because he's been a bit lighter on the rolls this session.
Okay.
If you can think of a way your character would help, though. I guess, yeah, you can add a d6 just for helping the haul.
Sure.
Jacques, are you hearing me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you want me to roll a d6?
No, sorry. Just make a strength attempt. So roll a d20 and add your strength modifier to hold this thing. I guess up the rope. This is quite the task. Definitely gonna need help from the dwarf.
All right. On dice rollers, I rolled 16 again.
Okay, and what's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier. My strength modifier could be around 3.
Yep. Okay, so that's a 19 after the roll. So then everyone.
He'll add 2 to that.
Okay, add 2, so that's 21. And then for the rollers, what's the result on the rollers?
Just a d6?
Yeah.
Google, please work with me faster, please. 3, yeah,
Okay, so those are 25.
right in the middle.
25 minus 12 is going to be 13. That's a big whopping result right there. So that's going to be, it's quite cumbersome work to transport this hulking beast, probably the size of a bear, up a rope. I mean, there'd have to be some strong rope for this to work, but we'll assume that it's real strong.
He's a dwarf. It's made of his beard.
Now this one's backhand.
Oh, excuse me.
I would never touch the golden beard.
Wait, did you say, sorry, did you say back hair or something else that rhymes with back hair?
Back.
Okay.
It's from me back.
Okay, because I heard there was a skip in the audio, so I wasn't sure if it was back or crack hair.
I think perhaps it's a family rope. You know, goes back through generations. Every dwarf adds.
We're all adults here.
Me ma added some to it, and I added some to it. It's been in the family for generations.
That's actually not a bad lore drop.
This rope has lore. This rope has so much lore.
Rope lore, rope lore, rope lore.
Yeah. I gotta rope you guys in somehow. And then
Hey.
So sorry. The you managed to get the beast up to the top. The rollers work splendidly for getting this thing across the rocky surface of the tunnel. Not at all an easy task, given how haphazard it was. And you did finally manage to make it, albeit a bit delayed, to the edge of the tunnel. Yeah, you have the beast.
What does Samuel have to say to that?
Somebody says, "Why didn't you lead with that? Oh my God!"
It was big, Cree says while sitting down pale in the middle of the tunnel.
You know, I did try to say something, but unfortunately, Kree is very loud.
I've been told that before, recently.
There's consequences to trying to shoot us with a cannonball, and that is you get cut at the legs.
Does anybody have a healing potion for Kree?
Sorry, I've used up my healing word for the day.
It's an arrow that will be fine until we get to town, alright?
Just rub some dirt in it.
Don't do that.
Resonetta will walk to Kree and kneel down. And Kree, you'll notice her eyes are strangely focused. More focused than they've ever been.
Resonetta is locked in.
And she will attempt to cast a healing spell. In the past, she's called upon the Fae spirits. This time, she holds out her hand and she whispers into it, "Sil Serpo, grant us your grace." And a tiny vision of a snake will appear coiled in her hand, and it will start to wrap, it will sort of slink around, wrap around Kree's wound, and let's see if this works. Let me reroll that was cocked. Okay, maybe. 10, and then minus the d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any bonuses. So, minus 4, the total is 6.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty steep hill to climb, even if someone were to help you. So it seems that your connection to the snake is fledgling, just like the plant that seems to have been growing inside you. And while it does seem like something may come of it, the connection is not well established at this point to perform the spell, and Kree remains in agony.
It's okay, Resonetta. I've had worse.
Kree
I got
remains
bit by a horse
perforated.
on the farm once. It was real rough.
She'll just take the hand that had the snake and just sort of, yeah, she'll bring you in for a hug.
Yeah, I feel better already.
Does
Couldn't
anyone
get
have a
Carrie
flask
on
of
the way
booze?
out, though. Sorry?
Does anyone have a flask of booze? De facto painkiller.
Always.
Shocking.
What do you want?
Deploy.
What's your poison?
Okay, so Penelope says, come on, let's get her a little bit of anesthetic here. Who's got a flask? Stronger the better.
There you go. I had you some whiskey.
And sorry, I forget the dwarf's name. Broderick.
Roderick. Yeah.
As you're shuffling
Roderick.
through, you're taking too long to produce this flask is because you realize that the sword that you've been handed is a really sharp, really well made sword. It's gonna be +3 tool mod. And Ben, you hand the flask to Penelope.
Okay, come on. Just have a little bit of it. I can't heal you now, so we're just gonna get you some of this right now, and then we'll get you to the village and we'll get you all fixed up.
Wait, you want me to drink that?
Just a little, not a lot.
Last time I drank something, it was a bad time.
We won't tell your parents. It'll be our secret.
And
Better not be cursed milk.
I get that reference.
So I'm gonna take a sip of the flask and go, on fire! And then I take another sip and I'm like, it's warm.
It is. It's warm. A little more.
I take another sip and I'm out.
Goodbye, horses.
and the sun sets over another thrilling adventure. I think we'll close it up there and spend a couple of minutes just reflecting. So,
Hello, background person.
oh, that's Josh. That's Josh.
So, what do we want to do about what's left in there?
So I wanted to spend a couple of minutes before we leave talking a little bit about the road ahead. So as you know, we do these every month. This was a lot of fun. This was a great turnout. I think probably the strongest turnout we've ever had, especially in terms of participation and flow, I guess. So that was really, really fun. We have the next one coming up on, let's see.
March.
Yeah, it'll be March. I'll give you guys the link. March 25th. I'll throw the link in the chat. And I wanted to definitely encourage you guys to attend the next community stream as well. We have some really exciting changes in some events that we're really looking forward to announcing. Let's see, let me get the link to the next. Let's see. The next community hub is going to be March 4th.
Sorry for the paper shuffling.
It's been a while.
How dare you?
I'm old
So
school,
go
taking
ahead
notes on paper.
and use, if you're at Venmo, you can use this link to register for free.
Oh gosh.
To the role play workout, to the community hub. But we are just going to be talking about an upcoming Wendy Lee event that we have coming up. Raj's got an event coming up. Lots of fun stuff. We just actually, if you guys have not picked up a Samurai Sound membership, we have just introduced a new offering actually. We restructured the memberships into 3 tiers. So there's the white belt, the red belt, and the black belt. And the white belt and the red belt are familiar to you already as the membership and the premium membership. And this black belt is a new offer that we've created where you get everything from the membership, but you also get double the amount of private training with myself and Raj. So that's twice a month. You get to produce the demo reel included in the package, and you also get 8 complimentary workshop tickets that you can use. So, because we're gonna have, roughly that many events over the course of the next year is kind of the pace that we're keeping. So that is another. If you haven't picked up the membership,
How much is that?
That is
3,000,
2,997.
What's that?
3,000. $3 short of 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that includes
$29.97.
the demo reel. The added value is the demo reel, twice the amount of private training, and of course the 8 workshops. Basically, all the workshops we do in a year, you can attend. So that's an option for you if you haven't bought the membership. If you are thinking about doing some more work with us, of course, we can work out what the discount would be for that if you want to upgrade from whatever you're at now. But I wanted to let you guys know that's breaking news.
Yeah,
We haven't announced it yet until just now. So
hot off the presses.
Maybe once I get further in my voice acting journey, but not at this moment.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know as an option. Actually,
At that point, it's practically a partnership.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're just looking to help out in any way we can. I should have actually just given you the link to all the memberships. There's that. I labeled that one. So anyway, yeah, at the next Community Hub, we'll be talking about more on the event side of things, what we have coming up. We've been working with Wendy Lee recently on a Cowboy Bebop, I guess, revival tour. Raj has been touring with Wendy and some members of the Cowboy Bebop big band, and they've been playing some shows. So that's been really fun. I've been working with her. So we're going to do a workshop with Wendy. And if you guys are in the area, actually, on March 29th, we are doing a show here in San Francisco that's going to be with Lotus Juice, the anime singer from Persona 3 Reloaded, and Raj. They're going to be doing some of the songs they've performed. They're performing some of the songs they did for various anime and games. So that's going to be at the DNA Lounge in San Francisco. I'll throw a link up for that as well. I don't know if any of you are local, though, to the Bay Area.
Womp womp.
I don't know. I don't think so. But anyway, here's the link. Anyway, that'll about do it for the time we have. But I just wanted to thank you guys for coming. This was really fun, and yeah, I'm just always impressed.
Oh yeah, are we getting gold or +1s or anything?
Yeah, at the end of every session in Voices and Choices, you get +1, and I almost forgot about the gold. Oh my gosh. The gold, it's tricky.
Did we steal it off the guards?
Absolutely, you did.
Man, they have no beer to steal.
It's tricky to incorporate into the session itself, but if you think of something that you would want for your character, you could just contact, shoot me an email, and I'll just give you the price. But that's going to be a lot of gold. I'm just adding up all the results, and I'm realizing the terms are a little bit confusing. But result is after you subtract 12.
Oh, I didn't know there was any math. I just assumed it was always the same amount every session.
No, I'm going to add up all the results from the checks you made, and that's going to be each gold +10. So
it's simple math. It's just taking what we got, subtracting 12, and what's left over is how good and or bad you do.
Yeah, so each of you are going to get 75 gold from the sum of all of those checks you guys made. That's a lot. That's a lot of gold.
I don't know. I have at least 95. I don't remember how much we got last session.
That was definitely the most checks I think we've ever done in sessions. That was fun. All right, guys. Well, hopefully I'll see you next week. And I'm always Gavin.
I have a question, but it could be after other people leave.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close it out. So you guys have a great night, and see you next week.
Nice meeting everyone I haven't met before. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey,
It's only my second role play, so good to meet everybody and still kind of finding my feet.
Okay, hey, awesome. After when Gavin answered his question, I want to ask a question about the sample, the voice sample.
Yep, of course. Yeah. Well, Gavin, what was your thing?
So I had scheduled a meeting or a private lesson with Raj last week, and that one didn't actually end up happening. I had waited on the call, and I don't know if he was busy.
Oh, he may have been on tour. We had some mix-ups with the scheduling because he signed on to some shows kind of last minute.
So I was just gonna wonder if it was possible I could get signed up for 2 classes in March.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Okay. And also, um, my question is that after my meeting with Ross on a few weeks ago, I signed up with an account on Voices and Voices 123,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I'm in the process of creating my voice sample. So, uh, so can I use the audio from my previous practice voiceover recordings? Can I use that as my voice sample?
So you're talking about for a demo reel?
Not necessarily. Because I think when I created it, it mostly asked for like a voice sample rather than a demo reel.
Okay. I mean, if you just want sort of an informal voice reel, like yeah, you can use what you have. I would consider, thinking about what kinds of scripts you would want to use, and in the long run, you'll probably want to have a professionally produced demo reel. But I mean, yeah, if you're just putting together something informally, just make sure you're presenting yourself in the best light, right? So as a member, you can send us what you have if you're wondering, about the quality of it. If you have questions about that, we're happy to help you sort of gauge where you're at, and if it would be worthwhile to put that into like a sample. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and also I did send something to Raj and you about all my audio that I did save and recorded, and I wanted some feedback.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will look at that right now, actually. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it. Let's go ahead and go through this.
All right.
Actually, could you guys hear that? I don't think you could.
No.
Yeah, I don't hear that.
Okay, that's okay. Let me listen to it again. Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to the first one. It's sort of this like strained. It looks like Bakugo, My Hero Academia impression. It's a nice tense moment. I could definitely like see like some dramatic music under it and some like cool sword sound effects or something. But what we want to focus on is really enunciating all those words so that they come through clearly, so people can understand the context. That's really first and foremost is making sure that people can understand very clearly what's being said. So I think that there's some opportunity there to improve some of the diction there. I'm gonna move on to the goldfish one.
Yeah, I think like the goldfish one really like the funniest one that I do.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're using the slogan to sort of experiment with different voices. I think that's a really cool exercise. I would want if to push that further, if you picked a longer script and did that same thing where you kind of try different voices with it. I think that could be a really cool exercise. Yeah, I mean, again, in terms of if you're putting this together. Just listening again.
Oh shoot! I should probably do the February 2025 voice challenge thing in Babadoodle.
Yeah, we got monthly and weekly challenges now.
You got weekly now.
Yeah, we got weekly practice challenges.
Oh yeah, week 2. There it is.
Yeah. Now I'm onto the.
What do you mean do now? Oh crap.
Yeah, so because for these, I like the ideas. I think what we usually do for the demo reels is we kind of create similar characters, so it wouldn't be like Jimmy or Bakugo directly. It would be like characters similar to those for you know.
Sorry, Austin. Really important formatting thing. The I don't know who writes the articles for this community server. Is it you? Is it someone else?
The articles?
Yes.
What do you mean the articles? Oh, like the
Like
challenges?
the challenge postings. Yeah. Who does that? Who writes those?
I write them.
Who does you?
Yes.
Okay. The black text is completely illegible.
Oh, really?
On a dark blue background, yeah, it's not there.
Are you on the desktop or are you using the app?
I'm on the desktop here. Hold on a second. Let me share my screen if you don't mind.
Interesting. So you're in challenges, and then this is the voice boost challenge. Oh, weird. Why is it? Thank you. How did you know? Yeah, you're so right. Why would they make this? I don't know why they made this. The system made this dark blue. That's. Oh. Yeah, you'd have to highlight it to read it. Sorry, I'm doing this on my own screen. Oh no, it looks like the way that this looks like this could be fixable actually, because some of the text is white. So I might just have to go in.
Yeah, sorry, I know I'm interrupting your quick little thing about the demo reels, but I felt like this was important enough.
Yeah, no, that's valid. Okay, thank you for. I'll fix that later. But thank you for bringing that up. But Jack has did I address your question? I'm not sure if I where are you at with that?
I appreciate the feedback. Right now I'm logging in now. Okay then. I will say that the feedback is good.
Did you want to because you're doing private trainings with me and Raj, right?
Yes.
If you want, we can flesh out those ideas into scripts, into other scripts for you to work on if that's something you're interested in.
Oh, sure thing.
Is that?
And yeah, and I'm still keep on continue to practice on some of them.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll make a script based on Bakugo, a slogan like the goldfish one, and a script similar to Jimmy from South Park and Sakamoto, and then we can go from there. You can practice with me or Raj like you've been doing, and we'll go from there. Does that sound like a plan?
Yep.
Okay, I'll get to those as soon as I can. Just taking a note of that. Was there any other question, Dan, that you had?
Mostly I don't really have too many questions. It's mostly, where do I next go from here about it?
Next go.
Like here in like the sorry, brain no worky good right now. It's
like
10. It's 11 o'clock.
As a voice actor.
My question, yes. Where do I go in my? What next steps should I be making for the voice career?
So my advice would be to start, if you haven't done so already, do you have like a time set aside each week that you do reserved for practicing or finding auditions?
Not finding auditions, but practicing every once in a while, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely prioritize making that part of your routine at least once a week, at least 1 hour. Block that out for practicing, for reviewing the learning materials in the Samurai Sound membership, but also looking through those resources for finding auditions. and start going through those online audition platforms and committing.
Any in particular that you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked with Backstage in the past, so that's one way.
I
Yeah.
actually have an account with Backstage. I haven't done anything yet because they keep asking for a demo reel, and I still don't have one.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's what we're also here to help with is your demo reel, and that's gonna put you in the best light. When they listen to it, they're gonna hear, okay, like these are strengths as a voice actor, and especially if you're working with a casting director or an agent, that's gonna help them either cast you or find you the right roles. It's gonna help you get onto those auditioning platforms, get exposure on the auditioning platforms like Backstage. So having a demo
The
reel
main problem with the not a Backstage, the demo reel is I don't know what to include in it. Is there a thing in the membership library that says what to put in there, or?
So we, what you get as far as a demo reel goes, through the membership, you can use those scripts that we use for the challenges, or if you get the demo reel package, which you have a discount on, we will help you write scripts
Where
tailored
can I find
to
that?
your voice. Find what?
The demo reel pack.
Oh, the discount is in your the discount is
No, the thing about Babadoodle, the actual. Is it launching your successful voice acting career? Is that it, or is it something else?
What are you looking for?
No, that's not it. I'm trying to find the actual pack for it, right? Not the discount.
Oh, I don't know what you mean by pack exactly.
You just said there was something about a demo reel pack and that you can use your discount on it, so I'm looking for the actual place where I can acquire that pack so I can put the discount in it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if you let me share my screen with you.
Please.
Okay, when you log in.
Yes. Wow, your menu is very green.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, yes, log in.
I think that's the top part of the strawberry. And you go down to, it's actually at the top. Member discounts. This is where all your discounts are.
Uh-huh.
So, produce your demo. Yeah.
Produce your demo reel. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, you can use that link. Probably shouldn't have